Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading for November, and it's going to be a general messages slash love, career, finance, social life, blah blah blah, whatever it is you need to hear, okay? We're going to have 3 piles to choose from, and you should see them up on the screen around now. Pile 1 is this object. It's a bear. It's a, sorry. It's like you put on a hanger. And then this is like an extra thing to put another hanger on, okay? So that's what this is. Pile 1 is a bear hanger, I think. Pile 2 is alien sunglasses. Yeah, you showed up. Oh, see, look, this is pile 2 is sunglasses, alien sunglasses. Pile 3 is a really cute butterfly hair clip. It's like one of those like 90s hair clips. And you go like this. Okay. So pile 1. So pile 1 is bear. Pile 2 is alien sunglasses. Pile 3 is butterfly hair clip. Okay. These are your pile to choose from for our 3 pile pick a card reading. So please take the time to choose your pile now. You can choose more than one. Or you can choose all 3. It's up to you. And whatever resonates or does not resonate, feel free to let it go. It's a general reading, so that means it does not apply. It's not one size fits all for everything. Okay? And perhaps it may or may not fit later on in your life. And whenever you're ready, just go in the description box down below and click on the timestamps, and I will see you at your reading. So let's start with pile 1 and see what cards you guys got. Pile 1, you got 6 of Swords, Two of Cups, and the Chariot. Okay, these are your cards. And for your romance cards, you got Reconciliation, Keep an Open Mind. So I'm going to do my best to channel the messages now, and then afterwards I will finish off with motivational message, okay? So the messages for pile 1 is that if some of you guys are actually holding on to a grudge or resentment towards a friend or a lover or anyone you care about, so like this love reading is not so much necessarily only about romantic, but more so like basically anyone who's important or significant in your life, it's time to let that shit go. It's time to, for lack of a better word, to not be so savage, but I'm just going to say it because this is what I'm hearing, so I guess you need to hear it. Stop being so petty. Like, think of the bigger picture. Like, how long have you guys known each other? Is this someone really significant in your life? Have you known them for many, many years? Right? And are you guys just going through different phases and changes in your life where it's possible that you guys might miss each other or have a misunderstanding, and people also change too, right? Do you think you can afford to give the benefit of the doubt to them if they had said or done anything that may have created some upset feelings towards you? If you think the friendship, lover, family member, work colleague, or whoever it is worth the relationship and worth the connection, and you do want to see better days with them, it's really time to let bygones be bygones and find your differences, accept each other's differences, and just understand that there's a reason why you guys aren't like each other. That's why, because diversity is what brings growth, right? You're not supposed to agree with each other about every single thing. That's what creates different perspectives. That's what creates a walk of life. That's what creates a well-rounded life. If everyone had the same beliefs as you, same values, same lifestyle, same priorities, what are you doing? Like, I'm hearing, are you so narcissistic that you can only get on with people who completely agree with you in your way of life only? Like, or are you so sensitive and so scared that if somebody deviates from your belief and your core values, that your way of being would just dissipate? Like, Now is the time to really learn to hold boundaries for yourself and understand you don't have to hate each other to be different. You don't have to hate each other in order to be different. Like, you can be different and still love each other, and that's okay. Whether it comes down to political views, or maybe the way your work ethics are like at work, or maybe what you find is more important when it comes to love language, friend or lover. Like, when you don't cook for me anymore, I don't feel loved, but that person's always spending time with you and they just can't cook for you because they have to like work late nights. It doesn't make them love you less, but because your love language is cooking, you feel neglected. But it's such a conditional perspective, and if you hold on to your condition and you value your conditions more than you value the connection, you might just simply lose the connection and you might regret it. Right? So there really is an encouragement for you to reconcile and keep an open mind. Like, your idea of friendship and lover and how like things should be and work out may not always meet your expectations of how things should be, and that's okay, because that's what makes life so spontaneous and organic, right? Like, oh, I always dreamed that we would go to like Venice Beach together and eat pasta by the sunset, and then because pandemic hit, you're like super grumpy. I don't know, this is an example I'm channeling, okay? And you're upset, but you can't be upset at the circumstances, so you project it onto your partner. You'd be like, it's all your fault because you were so busy working at home. We never made a plan to buy tickets to go to, I don't know, Venice to make this dream happen. But what you're really doing is you're ruining a good thing. Don't you realize that your lover is still with you? And the truth is, the circumstances were really beyond both of you guys' control. There was a freaking pandemic, but because it was such an unjust, unfair emotion, you didn't know how to process it, and you took it out unfairly on the parties involved. Yeah, and especially if someone was there for you through thick and thin, that is not cool. That's like a low blow just to vent out your frustrations, and if anything, that could cause irreparable damage between the both of you, especially if there was a lot of honor and respect in the first place, right? So for pile 1, I feel like it's heeding a warning about making sure you don't swing your sword recklessly in the directions of those who have nothing to do with the ties you're trying to cut loose, or the circumstances you're trying to change, or the backlash that they don't deserve to be exposed to, you know? So I'm going to move on to reading the inspiration quote. You have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of your own blessings. That's true. Instead of blaming things and circumstances and people and loved ones around you, giving your power away and blaming on the circumstances external to you, realize that you are much more empowered than you are. To realize how blessed you are. To participate relentlessly in your manifestations of your own blessings. To see the blessings you already have. You already have a lover that supports you through thick and thin. You already have a great job. You know what I mean? You have the money, you have the relationships, you have the friendships. You just might not have it the way you want it to exactly. That's okay. Because you're not supposed to, and you can't control other people like that. They're not Sims characters. You know? We have an ideation of what we want, we strive for it, but we shouldn't be conditional and resentful if it doesn't meet the target 100%, because more often than not, life has a really funny way of not giving what you want, but what you actually need. And most cases, it's to really help you grow, and it's actually better than what you expect. But you can't see it as better if you're constantly resentful and ungrateful and unwilling to see how blessed you are. The person who said this quote is Elizabeth Gilbert, by the way. I'm going to pull a few more cards just to see if there's any more additional messages for this, because this was about a very particular subject. You see if there's additional messages for pile 1, please. I pulled out more cards, and the cards that came out is 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 3 of Wands, This is 9 of wands, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So pile 1, you may or may have not already done some damages by saying some hurtful words, and you feel like might be a little too late to go back, but hence reconciliation and keep an open mind, right? I think it's good to bare your heart to the person you may have offended and let them know that, like, where you came from, what your intentions were, and own up to any wrongdoings that you believe you may have done in terms of overstepping someone's boundaries. And this way you can allow yourself to move forward, and then instead of becoming defensive after opening up yourself and worried about being hurt and being vulnerable, you have to be willing to be brave. Courage. To have the courage to be a friend to someone, to have the courage to be the proper lover for someone, to have the courage to be a good colleague at work, to have the courage to be the ideal family member in the family like circle, like to be the ideal brother, sister, daughter, mother, father, cousin, uncle, niece, nephew. You know, I don't think people realize this, but it takes a lot of courage to live, to be willing to make mistakes and not be afraid that you're not perfect and that you will hurt people and people will hurt you, and be okay with that. That's like one of the hardest things, because we were taught to be ashamed and find shame within ourselves if we weren't perfect within ourselves and towards others. If we did something that didn't make ourselves look good, or that could be embarrassing or whatever, like our reputation, we get so uptight about it that we lose self-control, we spiral, and we forget that everyone's human too. Everyone's trying to figure it out too. Everyone's just as scared and worried and concerned and sensitive too. And if they're not sensitive or concerned, then you might not want to continue that connection anyway, because it might be toxic. But that's an exception, right? What I'm saying is just the willingness to own up to possibilities and mistakes that you could have done, and also know that it won't be your first or last time, and also know that there will be many times where your friends would do the same, or lovers or colleagues or family will do the same, and accept that, and still know you are still willing to tough it out and work it out with them and be vulnerable. That's really hard. It takes courage. It takes self-belief. It takes the willingness to keep your heart open and not close and become bitter and resentful from all the stuff life has compiled to you, you know? I feel like there's a message coming through about, like, yeah, it's forgiveness, not just about the most recent thing that happened that you're becoming petty about. I think maybe so many things has happened that you do feel a large sense of injustice, pile one, where there might be past things that may have not been spoken about that needs forgiving. Maybe these people are no longer in your life anymore. You cut them off, or they really were toxic, but forgiveness of yourself and others is needed. And when you can let go of all that baggage of all the wrongs people have done to you, is when you're actually able to be fully present with the connections and relationships that you have now, and moving forward you can cultivate it in a much more healthier, grateful, positive manner. Okay, so that is your message for pile 1. I certainly hope it was of value and useful for you, and if you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and give your girl a follow for more tarot readings. We're going to move on to pile 2 now, okay? Pile 2, we're moving on to alien sunglasses, okay? Let's see what cards you got. The Hangman. I'm excited. Okay. Page of Pentacles. And Three of Cups. The World. Romance cards, you got heart-to-heart conversations and trust. Let me take the time to channel what messages are coming through for you, pile 2. you, pile 2, will be stepping into a new chapter of your life where you're going to be thriving. Yeah. You're going to be true to yourself. You're going to go from being the hermit to literally a social butterfly. That's what I'm seeing. You're going to go from keeping to yourself and being home all the time to like literally having a social life and going out and going on dates and having events and parties and being invited to things and networking. Like, I really see your social life and your own personal growth flourishing. I'm really happy to hear that for you guys, pal 2. That's amazing. So this heart-to-heart conversation really is heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. Like, you're being really honest and sincere with yourself in the month of November. And you're like, how do I really feel about life? And what is okay and really what's not okay? And that you're allowing yourself to realize it's okay to not be okay with your circumstances. Like, if you feel like it could be better. Because you're so grateful, unlike pile 1, you are so grateful that you are afraid to even ask for more. You don't even want yourself to desire for more because you feel like that would be like a sign that you are ungrateful. So it's like the opposite of pile 1 in that regard. You're not asking enough, and it's time for you to allow yourself to ask. And you can trust this. You can trust yourself and trust that it's okay to ask, and to believe in yourself that you do have every right to deserve to feel and experience and have the desires that you do have, and you're going to go and pursue them. So maybe one of your goals is, I've always wanted to go rock climbing. I'm hearing that. But you're like, oh, but I'm not really healthy, or I'm not really strong, I can never do that. But you're not letting your fears and your own self-doubt get in your way anymore. You're just gonna go and look into it, and you're gonna do research, and you might even just show up to a rock climbing place and just straight up ask the people who work there, be like, hey, do you have any tips and advice for someone who's never rock climbed before, who like could be of a certain body size, and like, are there hardships and differences? I worry that I'll hurt myself, but I'm also not really healthy, but I really want to get into rock climbing. And they're going to dispel all the stigma you have about what you thought you could do and couldn't do for rock climbing. And then that is going to inspire you so much, pile number 2, that you're going to go and find out and like dispel all the illusions of stigma of what you can and cannot do for every other aspect of your life. Maybe you always wanted to wear a suit, or maybe you always wanted to be able to fit into a cocktail dress. Like, depends who's watching this, right? But you always thought that you wouldn't look good in it, or you couldn't pull it off with your body shape, or it was just not really your vibe. But you want to be someone like that. You want to be someone who's a distinguished and put together and sharp. You're gonna allow yourself to like literally go into the shop, like the tailor shop, and like book a consultation to talk with someone who's a stylist, like a style assistant, who will do it for you and help you learn about your color that suits your skin tone and your body shape, and suggest the different styles of suits and cocktail dresses available. And it's going to really open your eyes on how you see yourself moving forward, and how you see yourself moving forward, what you can or cannot wear will also change how you feel like you can present yourself. So everything is going to become like a ripple effect, which is amazing. You're going to even start voicing out your desires and what you've always wanted to experience with your friends and family. And you never mentioned them before because you always thought they were shutting you down, or they wouldn't be interested. But you might be surprised. They might be like, oh, I didn't know you were into this. I actually know somebody. I might not like it, but I know someone who's da 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 da. Maybe you could go with them, or you could talk with them more about it. And it leads you to having more opportunities and events to attend where you can explore and fully flesh out this interest and desire and experience that you always wanted to have. The outcome of it is you're going to become a well-rounded individual. You're going to go from someone who's introverted and always in your mind about what you want to do, into someone who's literally out and around the world, seeing, being in different places and meeting different people and being free. The inspirational card for you is, one can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. I swear to you guys, you saw me shovel. I did not pull this from my butt. From Helen Keller. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. Yeah, so you've been crawling when in actuality you really feel like you should be flying. You're gonna let yourself actually do it. Maybe you always wanted to take up flying. You want to learn how to pilot. No, I should do stuff on the ground first. No, just go look into it. Look how much courses cost and watch YouTube videos and meet people who's done it. Even go to those flying plane shows, you know? I really think you're gonna let yourself go all out this month. I said this year, but November is gonna be the beginning of it. It's gonna be like the planting of the seeds of such things, which is really exciting. Let me pull out additional messages, please. Okay, so pile 2. Do not be afraid that as you get happier in life that you feel like you're leaving people behind. Because you spend a lot of time listening to people's pains and fears. You hold so much space for other people that you worry that if you allow yourself to be happy, that they will feel like you're ignoring them and you're not like being sad with them and they're going to be alone on their feelings. But that's not true. The other side of this is that when you allow yourself to be happy, you're going to inspire other people to learn how to be happy for things that they may have never considered before. Maybe they're always sad. They're always spending time being sad. And you're always accommodating them and never questioning that it's okay that they can feel sad. So if it's okay that one can feel sad, why can't it be okay that one feels happy? Good question, right? Because that's what's happening. You're afraid that these people will cut you off or leave you or feel abandoned by you if you allow yourself to finally be happy and live your fullest life, and you won't be there for them anymore. You'll be there for them, but you're also going to be there for them the way you want to be there for them now, moving forward, not the way others want you to be there for them, because you still have a life to live. You can never creep if you feel an impulse to soar. You've done it for far too long, pal, to accommodate and hold space for other people and meet them where they are. It's time to meet you where you're supposed to be. You know where you're supposed to be. You know where you want to be. You know what you want to do, see, experience. But you're not going there because you feel like there's a gut feeling inside you. You feel like those people are not going to be there when you go there. That may be true, but that's not your fault. You have to be you. You have to step into the nature of who you truly are, and your truth of who you are in essence on an average every day. If you're naturally a happy person, you have to let yourself be happy. And those people, if they really truly value you, they really think you did a lot for them, and they wish to grow alongside with you, pal, too, they will find ways to be happy along with you rather than waiting for you to be sad with them all the time. Right? The cards that came out the second time is the Tower, 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, and Queen of Cups. So you have to have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself and maybe possibly other people to let them know, hey, I'm going to start being honest with myself from now on. I want to be happy. I want to try these things before my life is over. I don't want to have regrets. And I still care about you, but I want to be there for me too. That's something I never did before. That was a really nice message, pal, too. Yeah, I think that was nice, short and sweet. I didn't mention any finances. I didn't pick up on finances. Pile 1 too. I guess there's more like messages you need to hear. That's what my guides want to talk about. So it's more like matters of the heart. Okay, pal 3. This is your reading. Those of you who chose the butterfly, this is your reading. Okay, so pile 3, you got Ace of Wands, King of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Devil. The romance cards you got. Let your friends help you. And forgiving and learning. Okay, let me Take some time to channel this. Okay, I got it. Pile 3, you guys are in a position in your life where you're so ready to just speak your truth. There's no holds bar at all. But the warning here for doing that is, don't be too quick to use your sharp words, because it could quickly turn into a toxic dynamic you're creating with people, and even a toxic personality you're developing. Because like, I have a feeling, Pile 3, it's gonna be like your first time really allowing yourself to speak the truth and just say what's on your mind, and you're so excited and exhilarated and liberated that you could do this, that you might go a little trigger happy with your words. You might say too much, unnecessarily cutting, that might be more detrimental than it is useful to getting your voice across and your thoughts across. You know what I mean? Because like, when we speak our truth and we're honest, it's to get a point across. But when you overdo it, you're no longer getting the point across. You're just hurting everyone. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your reputation. You're hurting your relationships. You're damaging your character, the character you have become. It's like this excitement of being able to be honest whenever you want can quickly grow into a form of addictive behavior that you are so excited to utilize, to the point where you just become too cutthroat, that it becomes a new you that is not the best. It's like out of bounds. So it went from someone who didn't speak up enough to someone who's over speaking and over crossing too many boundaries. Okay, that's a warning here. So let your friends help you. I think, especially for those you can trust, Pile 3, I think it's good to get some feedback on whether or not your new form of brutal honesty is doing more damage than it is creating change, and feedback if they like it or if it has hurt their feelings. Like, I don't think it's like whether or not they like it. It shouldn't be about, oh, asking your friends if they like the new you or the new way you communicate. It's more so you should ask them whether or not the new way you communicate is helping things get more straight to the point, or it's becoming more hurtful and damaging than it is being honest. And hear what they really truly have to say, because then they can at least help you convey feedback towards you, so you know actually how you're coming across as. Because just because your intention is there doesn't mean it would come across and be executed gracefully in that with the same intention in mind, right? So you're going to be going through a lot of phases of trial and error, so be prepared to forgive others and also forgive yourself, because you're learning. Forgiving and learning. You're going to be making mistakes as you figure the nice balance between how to speak your truth and being too cutthroat, versus other people who are exploiting the fact that you're not speaking up enough, versus you're stomping all over them with your savage words, you know? Okay, so you are the only Pile 3 to have 2 motivational cards come out, so let's see what they are. If you want to succeed, you should strike out on new paths rather than travel the worn paths of accepted success. John D. Rockefeller. That totally matches up with the messages of speaking your truth and trying something new and allowing this repressed side of you to come out and be expressed. The second motivational card is, in order to succeed, we must first believe that we can. Michael Korda. That's pretty self-explanatory. Let's pull a few more cards for Pile 3 to see what other additional messages they would like for you guys to know about. Pile 3, you guys have some very fiery energy. There's a lot of gusto and a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. When you do something, you do it like to the max. Like, you go all out. But you're going to be learning in November how to find balance and mature into this newfound wisdom you have obtained about being able to utilize what it is called your voice and speaking your truth. And instead of using it in a way that could be considered as very volatile, you're going to be using it to progress yourself forward, to deepen and establish new relationships and deepen existing relationships and connections as well. This might even lead for you to meet someone in November, Pile 3. My butterflies, your social butterflies. I'm gonna look into this. Tell me about the 2 of Cups. Yeah, so your ability, oh yeah, the Lovers. Okay. So the cards that flew out the second time around, it's Temperance, King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, And then the other cup is Two of Cups. So I was like, tell me about this relationship. And the Lovers and King of Wands flew out. Like, are you kidding me? So what that tells me is the fact, pile 3 as butterflies, now that you're beginning to speak your truth and you're like, I'm hearing unapologetic about it. Like, sorry, not sorry about your truth. You're going to become hot. Like, you're going to be seen as very sexy to someone. Like, wow, like that person has the gonads to be honest about who they are, what they feel, and what they want, and what they don't want to put up with people. And they have clear boundaries, and when people step over their line, they voice it out. They are so, I'm here, unabashedly courageous with their voice. And that's going to bring in this King of Wands. And they're going to want to initiate a relationship or some sort of commitment with you. And it's great because you stepping into your truth and being able to voice out what you really feel, yeah, it would make sense. You would attract someone who wants to be with you that would fit you right, because you're literally not giving them a guessing game anymore. There's no guessing game. You're making their life easier. You're being honest and transparent, and that's what this person has been looking for a while. Okay, anything to conclude this last reading? They're gonna come in hot. Knight of Wands. Yeah, pile 3 is the one reading that's gonna like really have like prominent romantic like stuff happening. Strength card. And this is the Star card. Knight of Wands. So it's fated. This is fated. The moment you step into your truth, you speak your truth, pile 3, butterflies. You're going to be strong and courageous, and you're going to find a nice healthy balance of being this new version of you. And this King of Wands is going to be marching in and be like, yep, swooping them up because they are a catch. So that concludes your reading, pile 3, and that concludes the reading for all of November for the 3 pile deck cards. I really hope that the reading resonated for all of you guys and had brought you some insights. And if you enjoyed that and it helped you, please give a like and a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe for more readings in the future.